Jake Paul, who became famous on YouTube a while back and is now a professional boxer, has just released an 18-minute long video endorsing Donald Trump and encouraging his fans to go out and vote. He's got a following, I believe, of 80 million people. So this is a really big, impactful person, especially to young men. And I'm going to play you a clip of the video, but it is essentially starts out with him saying, hey, I actually live in Puerto Rico, so I rescinded my right to vote, but I still have an opinion and there's still things that I care about. Encouraging people at the end of the day to do their own research and to just look at the facts. It was probably, even amongst conservative commentators, one of the most well thought out, best laid out cases for Donald Trump. And he effectively, every single issue that he lays out, literally everything, all points to Donald Trump. And what I really like that he did is he debunked some of the arguments that Democrats have, because what do they have right now? They essentially have women's rights, which to them, all that means is abortion. They never bring up crime. They never bring up the open border, the trafficking, and they never bring up the fact that Trump has said on multiple occasions that he is not down for having a national abortion ban. All he wanted to do was kick that back to the states and let the people vote. And do you ever think the people of California are going to vote to get rid of that? No, they're not. So you're always going to have sanctuary states, even if there is a state that does vote in that favor. I just don't see that happening. 80% of people in the US are actually of the mindset of the first trimester. Legal, safe, rare. Yes. So even amongst the people that are pro life or that are pro choice, 80% of people look. So that's really something that most people do agree on if we're talking about democracy. And that's what Trump did. He made it more of a democracy. He brought up, foreign wars, peace, climate. If we have World War III, that then climate's not going to be our biggest issue at the time. But he goes through everything. And this is one of my favorite things that he did is he points out that you keep hearing Kamala Harris and Tim Walz say that we need change. Well, Democrats have had power for 12 of the past 16 years. So who exactly do we need change from? Here's
watch this blasphemy unfold in front of me any longer. What is the problem? Democrats have been in power for 12 of the last 16 years. So if we aren't happy with the current political state, economic state, environmental state, then who is to blame? Tim Walz, the vice presidential candidate, has even said this himself.
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
We can't have 4 more years of this. Even Tim says there needs to be change. And he's right. We need to change from Kamala Harris to the Republican candidate, Donald Trump.
He brought up the Tony Hinchcliffe joke, and even though I'm really biased with Tony Hinchcliffe, I defended it. But even Trump himself said, I don't even know who that comedian is. That wasn't anything that I endorsed or my campaign. He was just there at my event. And Jake Paul addressed that as someone that lives in and loves Puerto Rico. He also addressed this idea of the Handmaid's Tale type narrative of Republicans and brought up the fact that there actually is, in fact, a law that does govern men's bodies, and that's called the military draft. If you don't go when you are drafted to go off to a war that you may or may not agree with, you could actually be sent to jail. So that is, in fact, something that is a law that is on the books that controls men's bodies. So I thought it was really well thought out. It's definitely worth the entire 18 minutes, bringing up the southern border, who we're allowing in our country, the trafficking aspect. Where is all of our money going? Our taxes keep going up, yet we keep getting more potholes and more things are not working. Look no further than North Carolina. You have people, I just watched a video out of North Carolina where people's roads, the roads are still cut off from entire communities of houses. And we're sending billions of dollars over to fight wars that we don't even know why we're in the first place. Meanwhile, American citizens are feeling abandoned. You know, a lot of this stuff makes you think. He also brought up the issue of women's rights, gender ideology, and the fact that women are being erased in sports, and he's raising a little girl. So it's just odd that Democrat women and Democrats in general have been convinced that that is the party of women's rights when it's really just the party of abortion. That's it. That's all they offer. And I highly doubt that has any threat of not being legal at all. He also brings up, which I think this is really important, the fact that Donald Trump was the first U.S. candidate in history to be pro gay marriage. We've never had one, not even Barack Obama. He was also fighting to decriminalize homosexuality in the Middle East because there are places where it is still criminalized. So you had that. He's also a lot more liberal on abortion than most Republican candidates. Melania Trump just came out in her book. She's pro choice. So he brought up all of these things. Again, it just everything points to Trump. So, highly recommend the watch. Thank you for watching this video. Bye.